Hello and welcome back to the I'm Hungry podcast. I'm Foster,
I'm Daniel.
and we're back again with the podcast.
Yep.
As we
Episode 7.
episodes. I think this is 8.
No, this is 7.
Are you
'Cause
sure?
we missed. I'm pretty sure. I've been keeping track in my calendar
I'm
when we.
pretty sure that this is 8.
Is it really?
I think.
Oh, I
So.
guess we can just count how many are on our channel.
Yeah, I mean we could do that.
That's embarrassing.
Fucking,
All right. Episode 8.
Episode 8. What you been up to, Daniel?
Well, like I was saying, I just got back from putting vinyl on my bike, and the reason I was doing that is because my bike was getting paint transferred to it or scratched off. I'm not sure which, from being parked, on the racks and stuff. Every time I park it, a little bit comes off because it contacts the metal rack. So I put little vinyl strips, black vinyl strips on the 3 tubes that were getting scratched. And they surprisingly matched like perfectly to the finish on my bike. My bike's like a matte black finish, and the vinyl just like it disappears. It's like invisible. So now I've got like these little invisible barriers when I park my bike that lean against the metal instead of metal on metal.
Interesting.
Yes, I'm very proud.
Nice. Was it hard to do?
Not really. I cut one big piece of vinyl and then cut it into 3 equal strips and then just put those on each of the 3. I did have to go around one of the stickers that's on my bike, though. My bike is the coolest on campus for sure, 100%. I removed all the dorky reflectors and I have tape reflectors instead.
The dorky reflectors.
Like when you're riding along and the little reflectors on the wheel, they spin around, like in a circle.
Oh yeah.
It looks really dumb. But mine, I took those off and got these these little tapes that go on the spokes. So when I'm riding in the daytime, it's invisible, but in nighttime, I'm literally riding on solid, continuous circles of light.
That's kind of sick.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I've got stickers.
Riding around in style.
Yeah. I've got red tape reflectors on the back instead of the stupid back reflector thing. So my bike is like super streamlined. It's got stickers on it like spike ball, and like my dad gave me some like coding stickers, like random stuff. I voted stickers on there, but they're all placed like really aesthetically.
Nice.
And perfectly. Nice. They're all in line with the tubes and everything. So yeah, I'm proud of my bike.
Got the aesthetics down.
Yes, my bike is dripping.
Whew, damn. Okay. I'm just so yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So
what about you?
I've just been, sort of same old. Homework during the week, party on the weekends. It's sort of been my routine for since I got here.
Nice.
But this week was pretty chill because I had a chem test on Tuesday.
Okay.
And after my chem teacher decided that after our chem test we wouldn't have anything else during the week. So typically I would have class. I would have I would have class on Tuesday and then a lab right after, and then I would have class again on Thursday and then a recitation on Friday. But now we didn't have any of that this week, so it was
nice.
Super chill. I didn't do too well on my test. I got a 60, but the low was a 27. So and the mean was a 60. So I did average.
Yeah. Right. And that's yeah.
And and there's hella points in the class, so it all equals out. I need to calculate my grade today, but I'm pretty sure that I'm chilling.
Yeah, right.
But yeah.
Nice. Well, that's cool.
So that was the big thing that happened to me this week is chem test. I studied a lot more for it, this one at least, than the other ones. So I was pretty satisfied with my score.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, doing you're right on the curve. That's kind of where you want to be. If not, obviously there is that's the butter zone, right? I mean, obviously.
Butter dog. Butter dog with the butter. Have you seen that video?
No, I never know I never see any of these videos.
It's this really just stupid video of this guy. He's taking a video of his golden retriever, and it just has like a stick of butter on its head, and he's like, butter dog, dog with the butter, dog with the butter on his head, butter dog. And
Oh my
it's really
goodness.
dumb. Just look it up
The
on.
dog,
I'll show
the
you.
dog,
I'll show you after this. I'll show you after this.
the dog actually has like a piece of like a stick of
Just a
butter
stick
on
of
its
butter
head.
on its head, and it looks very happy because it's just like getting attention.
Nice.
So it's like smiling, and it's just like sitting there. It's pretty cute.
Golden retrievers are cool dogs. I like them. I don't like many dogs too. I'm
Really,
not a dog
you're
person.
not a dog person.
I'm not a large mammal
You're
or I'm
a
not.
you're a amphibian person.
Yeah, amphibian, reptile. I actually do like mammals, but not like the common mammals.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a cat or
You
dog
like
person.
platypi.
Yeah, yeah.
Platypuses?
I think it's platypuses. I think
I
they.
know. I think
I
it is
could be totally wrong, but
platypuses.
I think they changed all of that. Like it's not octopi anymore. I believe it's
Cacti?
octopuses. It's cactuses.
What?
Yeah, I believe I could be wrong. Commenters, please
Yeah.
correct me. But I think
Watchers, all of our audience, let us know.
yeah, I don't know if like I don't know if there's even an official thing. I think if there is an official thing, they did change it to they got rid of the eyes, so it's all normal. I don't know what the root is, but es at the end.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like platypuses, that's weird, but like cactuses, I like better than cacti. Just I don't know why, but
Cactuses? Look at all the
yeah.
look at all the cactuses. I guess. I don't know.
Like it doesn't feel that wrong. It sounds weirder to say cacti, I think.
Platypuses?
That one sounds weird. Like that one feels weird to say. You know, it
I
doesn't roll off
guess.
the
I
tongue
guess.
as
Yeah.
much.
Me personally, I kind of liked the eye better, but you know,
Really? What about octopi?
I
Octopuses?
like octopi.
I'm not. I don't know. I have no preference on that one. I'm like kind of split.
Ugh.
Bless you.
Thank you. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing really we can do about it. What are we gonna do? Call the grammar police? Hello? Yeah. Change it back
Change it back.
now.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. But yeah. What's your favorite like mammal?
Favorite mammal?
Yeah.
I feel like I have
You're
an
saying you
answer.
like mammals, but you don't like regular mammals.
Yeah. I feel like I have an answer for this, but I can't think of it right now. I like dolphins.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's more of a fish. It's not a fish, but it's a little more fish-like.
You were thinking of like hairy.
I was
hairy
thinking, yeah, I was thinking hair. I was
hairy
thinking
thing.
like
Okay.
dolphins are a little too similar to humans. It makes me uncomfortable. Like
What if I say? Well, what about chimpanzee?
no, because those are
How do you know?
monkeys. In my opinion, dolphins are more similar to humans than like monkeys are.
Well, that's just not. I don't. That's like biologically not true. I'm pretty sure.
It's not, but like hear me out on this. They're like in my opinion, dolphins are much like their mannerisms and their like habits much more human like than like a chimp.
But why? Why do you think
Because
that?
well, they just like I don't know. They're a lot smarter. They have like they're one of like the only other species on Earth that like has sex like for fun because they think they like it. And that's a big like human trait I feel because like dudes are just like sex.
Well, I mean that's a pretty common trait in the entire animal kingdom. You know, like that's.
You know,
It's just
you're
like
right.
biological. Hardwired.
I'm not
But
an animal, so I can't tell what other animals are thinking.
what do you mean
You're
you're
right.
not an animal?
Okay, I didn't mean it. Okay, I'm not like a different animal, so I
Okay.
can't tell what
You-
other different animals think.
Yeah. Okay. So you're
I'm really
saying
tripping
you're
over
only
my words
only-
right now. I don't know. I just think dolphins are more like human-like than chimps.
Is that maybe because chimps look so much like humans, but they're not, and so it like is more off-putting than the idea of something that's looks totally different from a human, but still like acts similar. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Maybe.
Like I feel like for me, like just thinking about it, I would maybe tend to agree with you. Without any evidence, I'd be like, sure. But I think that's only because for me, like chimps look, they're very, very similar morphologically to humans, but they look, there is something definitely different about them. So it's like off-putting when we see them doing human stuff. But a dolphin is so dramatically different from a human that it's like, whoa, that's like aw, or there's a different reaction when we see them doing human stuff. With chimps, it's more like, whoa, that's kind of crazy, and and kind of weird that this thing that looks like we're basically chimps, or obviously that's not
We're the cool
biologically,
version.
that's not. I probably can't say that, but we're very, very similar to chimps, and dolphins are like way different, but they still act like us. So it's like maybe we identify more with something that's more different from us.
Yeah, I
In
get what
this
you're
case.
saying. I get what you're saying. It's like a sort of like reverse sort of like concept.
Yeah, maybe reverse psychology.
No,
Kind
I
of
don't know if I was.
something.
I don't
Some
know.
it's a kind of, yeah. It's like a reverse
Yeah.
thought process thing.
It's like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen I know you've seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
What do you mean seen it? I've read it.
Read it. There's a movie. You haven't seen the movie?
Aren't the movies like not great? Aren't there multiple and they're all kind of bad?
I watched the one movie, like the one that's like based off the first book. It was pretty good. I thought it was
Hmm.
good.
All right.
Actually,
The books are so much. The books are way better. Like
I have not read the books actually.
you should read the books. They're hilarious.
I will.
And it's a lot of fourth wall breaking. I don't know if that happens in the movie. It's fourth wall breaking like from the author a lot. It's like not even the characters. The author will just
Be like,
like
yeah,
the way
no,
he
this
writes.
is like a thing. Like,
Yeah, Arthur Douglas, right? Yeah, the way he writes is like it doesn't feel like a narration. It's more of like it's like he's telling a really long joke, kind of. Sometimes it is narration, but yeah, he's got a great style of writing and of humor. So I would recommend it.
but yeah, so like in the books at the beginning, is there like a whole like dance and like song number by the Dolphins?
No, that the thanks so long and thanks for all the fish is like
Yeah.
wait, but that's not the first book.
Oh, is it not?
No,
Oh, okay. That was in the movie I watched. I don't know.
that was in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, like when the world is ending, the dolphins like they like make like spaceships or something. They're like, bye.
Oh, okay. Well, that's mentioned later. Yeah, that is mentioned in the first book, I think, from what I remembered. But the focus of the dolphins isn't brought up until a different book. But yeah, so I guess they were just showing that in the movie. But no, there wasn't ever a dance number, as far as I know.
Oh
Like
yeah, no, they
in
do
the
like a
book, the
whole little.
dolphins.
They
Yeah,
do a
like in
whole
the book, the
dance number.
dolphins escaped, and they left like a single note that said,
So long,
and thanks for all the fish to the
yeah.
humans."
It's like a whole song in the movie. They're like
Wow.
flying. They're like flying and stuff. They're like going all over the place. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that didn't happen in the book.
It was pretty neat. I thought it was interesting. I liked it. I don't know.
Are there any more musical numbers in the movie?
No.
Weird.
They're like, yeah, it's a whole song. But so yeah, that's when I see Dolphins. Arthur Douglas gets it.
True, yeah.
He understands what I'm saying right now.
Dolphins are too smart for their own good.
Yeah, we need to eradicate all dolphins.
Dolphins are like really empathetic, right?
Yeah, but they're also like scary. They'll beat the shit out of you. Like literally.
Yeah, they're kind of like,
They're like
killer
they-
whales are similar, right?
Yeah, they beat the shit out of like sharks and stuff.
Yeah.
They'll be like, get the fuck away. Back up. Back.
Killer whales have a lot of like crazy, scary hunting tactics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they, I believe it was I saw it on Planet Earth. They like form packs and then they charge, things that, like prey that's on an iceberg or floating chunk of ice or something. They'll charge it and then use their tails to create waves to like break it apart,
Yeah.
or it's just cause the prey to fall in the water and then they eat it. Kind of crazy.
Chomp. Dude,
Yep.
see the sea.
Well-
The sea is a scary place.
It is a scary
Like
place.
I like what's like what the why are things there? You know what I mean? Like why are you there? I don't know. Like what made you be like, yeah, dark deep ocean where I develop like no eyesight because it's already useless anyways.
Well, that answers the question why they don't have
Okay,
eyesight.
well, yeah, all right, but
Like,
okay, all right, yeah. Nah, I'm fucking like those deep sea creatures are terrifying.
yeah. Did you know that anglerfish, when they mate, the male anglerfish attaches to the female and then shrinks and like gets absorbed, like his entire body gets absorbed by the female, except for
What
I
the
believe at the,
fuck?
I believe all that's left at like the end of the process is just like gonads or sexual organs that just in a little shell that used to be the male.
What the fuck?
And then then the female can lay fertilized eggs, or I don't know if they do live birth or eggs, probably eggs, but then however they reproduce, it's fertile.
Yeah, like that's what I'm like. Why? Like, why is that a thing that they do? Like,
I don't know.
what in their evolutionary line was like, yes, absorb, absorb, and then the kid. Like that's scary. That is like terrifying. Imagine like having sex with a girl and then just being like, all right, I guess I'm gonna get absorbed into your body now.
I wonder if it's because like they can't find each other.
What?
So like when they find each other, they gotta it makes the most sense to
Like
make it
just
count, or
attach.
basically just fertilize all the eggs for at any forever past that point, right? And make the most. I mean, then obviously the most
So
offspring would be produced, and then those offspring would do the same thing, and then eventually that's all you have. It's just
are they
evolution
like
happens.
is their consciousness like absorb like where does the male go?
Just it's just gone. I
Does
think
he
he's probably just.
does
I
he
mean,
like die and then he gets absorbed, or like is it
well,
like
yeah.
still awake like the entire time he's getting absorbed in, and then like at some point his like consciousness just goes away, or like is this is
I don't know.
this is weird to think about right now.
It's probably like a sliding scale. Like I don't know. It's
He
probably
just
gradual. Just
slowly disappears.
yeah. Well, because I mean, technically, he doesn't. The male doesn't die, but it's just like kind of metamorphosis, I guess, right?
That's
Like what
scary.
happens to a caterpillar's consciousness when it turns into a butterfly? While it's in its cocoon, like because it comes out as something completely different. So like what happens to its brain function during that? It's kind of probably the same thing with anglerfish. Just he doesn't come back.
Yeah,
Poor guy.
that's scary. That's terrifying. That's what I mean. That's terrifying. That is just like existentially terrifying for me to think about. Just like slowly like disappearing into your mating partner. Consciousness slowly just fading away. Like you're sort of
Yeah, it's
aware of
pretty
it, but
scary.
not really. Like,
Well, at least you're not an anglerfish.
yeah. Watch, I'm gonna get reincarnated as a fucking anglerfish now. I'm gonna like
Like
suffer some
your
misery.
last thought will be just my luck.
Just my luck.
Of
Fuck.
course.
uh, no, but like the ocean, man. There's shit down there. We don't even know because literally can't get down there. Like everything just gets destroyed.
Yeah. Crazy pressure.
It's just like
Have you watched Mythbusters? Like, or did you watch Mythbusters at
I
all?
watched it, yeah, a little bit when I was little.
Yeah. That's like that was like my childhood show. Like I watched it every night with my dad. I still watch it most nights with my dad, but in like
Yeah.
reruns. But
Yeah.
one episode, they see what happens when a old timey diver's suit gets because they had to supply oxygen down there through a tube. So like what happens when the tube gets severed, and the suit depressurizes. So they basically just like took this old timey diver suit way down with a ballistics gel and blood, human analog inside of it, and cut off the pressure or cut off the oxygen and let it depressurize, and the water like instantly, almost instant, like it would like there was like a few seconds where nothing, it was just compressing, and then the head like exploded against the inside of the helmet, like you could see through the glass.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And the myth was whether the whole body would get sucked into the helmet, because that was the helmet's metal and the suit is fabric, so like the pressure would force it into the helmet. The whole body didn't, but like a lot of it basically got like turned into goop, everything that was in the helmet. So it was pretty horrible.
Yeah, imagine like having to do that as your job back in like the old days.
Yeah, that's pretty
Or like
terrible.
maybe you see that happen to your friend like next to you, you're like both down there, and all of a sudden he like looks at you, and then you look at him, and it's just all of a sudden it's just like that would be terrifying.
That'd be pretty awful. And that wasn't even, that's not even like, the ocean goes way deeper than whatever that they were testing at. So like, just imagine the pressure. I'm sure there's a reading for, maybe there isn't even a reading. Because I guess I don't know if we know for sure how deep the ocean is at, like the maximum depth, but the reading that we have for the deepest part of the ocean is probably way greater than the pressure where they were testing. So it's just like mind-boggling how much weight there is.
Yeah.
Like pushing in on anything down there. And yet there's still things like anglerfish.
Yeah.
Just doing their stuff.
Exactly. There's like shit that lives down there. Like we just can't even like see what's up with them. Because they're
crazy.
Because if they come up here, they would die. Because they're just
they
like
just explode.
the inverse. They'd be like, "What the fuck? There's nothing weight. There's not like millions of pounds,
like,
millions of tons of pressure on my body. Like, I'm too free. Like what kind of shit do you think is down there?
I don't know. I mean, like we do, there's stuff that we find that comes up from down there and then goes back down. But like, there's I don't know.
Do you think there's any like scary like Eldritch horrors?
What are Eldritch horrors?
Like big tentacles.
Oh, maybe. I mean, there are squid-like things. I don't want to say squid because I'm like cautious about saying biological, like applying biological terms, because I feel like if we ever have an audience, someone's gonna be, someone's gonna say this is totally wrong. But I believe there are squid-like things down there. They're not big as far as I know, but
yeah. Like, do you think there's any like big monstrous like sea monster type shits down there?
I don't know.
I feel like it'd be neat if there was.
I mean, there could be. Like honestly, there could be totally. It's just the problem is you have to have enough energy to sustain a large thing down there,
Yeah.
And there's not much. It's mostly just crap that falls from the surface. Like whale carcasses will sink down there, and that'll provide like weeks or months of feeding for like all sorts of things at different stages. Like the first stage is like sharks come in, and like deep sea sharks come in and eat the most of the flesh, but they can't reach all of it because of their size. So then littler things come in and littler stuff, and then as it breaks down, like the different kinds of chemicals that it releases attract different things, and eventually it's just all gone. But then that's like how the ecosystem survives.
What if there was like this giant ass like sea monster?
What do you mean? What if there was? Then there just would be. Like, what are we gonna do about? What is it doing to us? What are we gonna do?
I'm saying, like, wouldn't that be like a huge like revelation to the world community?
Well, yeah. Like if we discovered it, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, that would be very
neat.
Cool. So it would be neat.
You ever do any like? You ever watch any videos on like SCPs?
What's SCP?
So it's basically like just a conglomerate fan fiction about like this organization called the SCP, like Foundation or whatever. Stands for Secure, like Capture and Protect or something like that. And basically, the theory is that this is like a secret, like, world organization that like operates like outside of any like government boundaries or anything like that. And their whole point is to like capture and like contain these things called SCPs, which are like they could range from like these like creatures to like a fork, like any like sort of object or like being, and it has like special powers, and the powers are completely up to like whoever decides to create the SCP. Like it's just some random person on the internet. You can literally just be like, SCP number 42. It is a toaster, and it always burns the toast, no matter what. No matter what setting you put it to, it burns the toast every time. It doesn't even need power. It doesn't even need to be plugged in. You put toast in it, and it burns the toast. Or you put bread in it, it burns the toast. So like that could be an example of like a stupid one, right?
Yeah, right.
There's like
Wait, so
what?
you're asking if you've ever read?
Yeah.
No, I had never heard of that. Wait, so the organization is called SCP?
You just look at like SCP on YouTube. It's hella shit about it.
Wait, but the objects are also called SCPs?
Yeah.
And it stands for what?
Secure. Capture, Protect, I think. I don't know.
All right. The only thing I like that whole concept, but the only thing I don't like the acronym. That doesn't make any sense for either the organization or the object.
Well,
why is it SCP? Like, first of all, why do the organization and the object their objects they find, why are they called the same thing? And also, the acronym isn't like the name of an organization; it's a motto. So,
hey, I don't make the rules, man. I don't know. But the
how long has that been going on?
How long has it been a thing? I made you yawn.
Yawning is contagious.
Ha 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 ha. I don't know how long it's been a thing, but at least like 7 or 8 years, like maybe a decade. I don't know.
Wow.
I've known about it for a while. But the reason I ask is I watched this one video on this like one SCP. I forget what number it was, but it was like this giant ass like sea monster that just like lived in the Indian Ocean, and but it wouldn't swim around. It wouldn't like terrorize anything. It didn't even eat. It would just like stay in like one place in the ocean, like in the middle of the ocean. It would just stay there, stagnant. And whenever like, so the whole thing, like it's just really, the video I watched on it was actually like pretty interesting. It was like, because people like will write these stories, and they'll do a really good job at like actually writing the story, and it'll be like very intriguing and very like well written, and like, and there's a story about like it from the perspective of like this prisoner, because they'll use like prisoners to like test out like these different SCPs like powers and stuff, basically like death row inmates and stuff like that, and they're sending them down in like this like fucking box, and they basically told him, like, I forget what they told him, but they were like something like, don't look at its face, or like they were like, look at its face, like try and like draw a picture of it for us, because like the whole thing is like once you like get down there, and like whoever like looks at it or like sees it goes like insane, and they like
this is the monster.
Yeah, this is the sea monster.
Oh, okay.
And like the guy, like they have him like over the comms, and he's saying like, it's in my head, oh my god. And he like drew a picture of it, and it was like this weird like sort of like it kind of looked like an anglerfish, but it was like huge, and it was like bah. I was watching it, I was like, damn, like that shit could, like, low key, that shit could be real. Like, we don't know about the ocean.
Yeah, we don't, so who knows.
I don't know, it was pretty interesting, I thought. I don't know,
Yeah,
it was just
cool.
like, it was just like bullshit, you know what I mean? Something to pass the time, but it was fun.
Yeah, right. No, that's I mean, it's like, you know, it's lore, right? It's just,
Yeah.
it's like game lore, which is always interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, butter dog, dog with the butter,
What a dog.
butter dog. Yeah.
Oh, have you ever heard of mechanical calculators? I recently discovered them.
Mechanical calculators.
Yeah,
No, never.
they're so cool. So it's like you don't really think about things like there's probably so many things that I would love to learn about, but you don't think of them. And one of them is mechanical calculators. Like, how did we calculate stuff before we had electric calculators, right? Digital calculators and stuff. And everyone thinks of like the abacus, right? I don't even know how you use that thing, but with the beads on the metal bars or whatever, you slide them around.
Yeah.
Like that was how, that's the one everyone knows. But then, obviously people are going to try to make through history are going to try to make things that can do mathematical functions more precisely, but they don't have electricity, so they have to do it mechanically. And so like that leads to the creation of these super awesome like pieces of engineering that are like just there's so much problem solving that goes into them, and they all perform just to perform this function of being able to input numbers and receive the appropriate outputs. And it's one of the coolest one I think is the Curta calculator. It's like this little, it's about like the size of a grenade, and it has a little rotary handle on the top of it. It looks kind of like a pepper shaker, and you set numbers on the side of this. It's a cylinder, right? So you set the little sliders on the side of the cylinder to set your input numbers, and then you rotate the handle in different ways to add or subtract or multiply or divide. And there's a bunch of different functions too, but it's like this tiny little thing that's just filled with mechanisms. It's like, I don't know. I just love that kind of stuff. Like it's so elegant.
Yeah.
It's just like it solves so many problems to solve the one problem of doing math without, they didn't, without electricity, basically. So it's just super cool. I really want, and they're like vintage now because as soon as the electric calculator became widespread, they were just obsolete. But now there's like vintage stuff now, like people selling on eBay and whatever. And the Curta calculators are like $1,000 or $2,000
really?
On eBay. Yeah. But that's like my ultimate goal. But I'm gonna look into like collecting some, lower tier ones that are cheaper, but still just as, or almost as mechanically amazing.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty cool.
That's my latest hobby.
Hey, shoot for the stars, right?
Right, exactly.
My ultimate goal is I want a black card.
What's a black card?
It's like the Amex black card, you know what I mean? It's basically just like a status symbol. Basically, it's what it is. It's like, so if like your credit cards is sort of like it's like a tier system, sort of like a video game, honestly.
Yeah, okay.
And to get the black card, like there are certain requirements you have to meet in terms of like spending and like all that stuff. So like you can work your way up through the ranks for like the American Express cards. Like you can get like the gold, and then you get the platinum or something like that. But like the black card is for like millionaires, and like it's literally like invite. It's like invite only. Like you can't apply for the card. You have to get like sent information about it once they deem you qualified.
Elite enough.
Yeah, and like there's a bunch of mystery around it, but like people say like you have to like spend around like fucking like $250,000 a year using it. Like you have like, but like it's so sick because like once you're like in that like club, like metaphorical like club, like it's such a flex, and like you have like your own like personal like assistant, right, that you can like call at American Express, and since you're like such a high level client, they'll basically do anything for you. So you could call this like assistant and be like, I want like tickets for this concert, like I want these backstage passes, like can you get me these? Obviously you still have to pay for them, right?
Yeah.
But it's like just the concept of like, I want it, get it for me. Like there's I was watching a YouTube video about this guy that got it, and it came with this like pamphlet where it was like telling stories about what you can do like with your personal assistant and like black card membership. This guy was like on a yacht, like middle of the ocean. He was gonna propose to this girl, and he didn't have flowers. So he called his assistant. He was like, I need flowers. Helicoptered a bouquet of roses out in the middle of the ocean for them. Just because he wanted it. Like,
Oh man.
you can just do some fuck shit with that. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was really cool. I was
So-
like,
And that's your like
status.
that's your like the object that you want the most.
Yes, that is my ultimate object.
Yeah.
So
Sweet.
for me, if I get that, I'll be like, I did some hard work to get here. That's satisfying.
Yeah, right.
That's satisfying for me.
Yeah, because it's I guess it comes with like if you have to be super rich, it comes with achievement probably, unless win the lottery or something.
Yeah. But even then, winning the lottery, you gotta, because there's like a spending requirement too. Like,
Yeah, right. Like you have to amass wealth
yeah,
probably to get that. So yeah, it would be like
yeah,
that object would be your proof that you've made it.
yep.
You've made it like beyond making it at that point.
I will be everything. I know it sounds kind of like greedy, but like,
I mean, I understand. Like, it's cool. It's a cool concept. It's like, yeah, like
I want it less for like the concept of like, ooh, money, and like I really just sort of want like the personal assistant to be like that's like the biggest thing like I like about it is I'm like I could just be like, yeah, give me the PS5 early, bro. Like, I know it just came out, but or I could be like, hey yo, like give me that pair of sneakers, like I'll pay for them, like just get them to me.
find them. Yeah. That's funny.
Just like being able to sort of just do whatever. I feel like that'd be sick. Yeah.
It's cool. That's a good. I had never heard of that, so that's a cool goal.
Curta calculator and Amex black card.
Oh, Amex. I think you were saying MX.
No.
So it's like American Express.
Yeah.
I see.
It's called the
Got it.
Centurion.
That's what the name of the black card is. The Centurion.
Yeah.
Wait, so it's not just called the black card.
No,
it's just.
But like it's referred to as like the black card.
Okay, so it's got like a colloquial name and then the actual thing. It really is like a artifact,
Yeah.
mythological
It
thing.
really is. It really is.
It's weird. It's like isn't there like an exclusive club at Disneyland?
I don't know.
Like somewhere it's probably not just in Disneyland, like in California, but in Disneyland in California, there's like a part of New Orleans Square.
I think I know what you're talking about. I've heard about it before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not like a Disney guy, so.
I mean, I'm not. I know Disneyland pretty well, but like it's just like interesting because it's like a mysterious
Secret society.
Yeah, pretty much just for wealthy people.
Exclusivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Sometimes I feel like I'm very like greedy, and then I'm like, nah. I don't know. I don't know. I like the idea of being in like secret societies. Like I feel like that's just sick. But at the same time, like I say that, but like rich people, like wealthy people, like make me hella uncomfortable. Like extremely uncomfortable. Like I don't like being around people that are like rich as fuck. I get like physically uncomfortable.
I guess I understand that. Like I guess I don't know if I do know some people who I know for sure. I've been around people who I know for sure are extremely wealthy. But yeah, I guess I get that. It's weird sometimes. Yeah.
Like I went to this or like Nancy, she works at the Princess, right?
I don't know who it is. Is
It's
that
a really nice hotel, like up North Scottsdale.
Nice.
And she took me to this event that they're having, and it was just like, I was like, whoa, like there's a lot of rich people here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
they were
I
all
know.
like they were all fancy and like dressed out.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. And I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't want to like. I don't know, I was like, ugh.
Yeah. I get that feeling. It's yeah. No, it's a tricky thing, because like the American dream is to, you know, make it and amass wealth because of hard work that you put in. Obviously, the American dream is really not.
A little skewed.
Yeah, it's flawed, and it's so flawed it like it doesn't exist in the same form for everybody.
Nah,
That's like the
not at
best.
all.
That's the best that can be said about it.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I get the like, but it's just weird when you're around people who, and some people didn't necessarily earn wealth.
No.
So again, it's American dream, but a totally different thing than like the cookie cutter version. But even when you're around people who like have done it, it's just weird.
Yeah.
I get that.
Ugh.
Well, so what do you think about? We were talking about philosophy like a few episodes ago, and you just mentioned like you think sometimes you're greedy, but like that just made me think of virtues. And right now in my philosophy course, we're learning about utilitarianism, which I was skeptical of at first, like when I knew about it casually, like before I took the class. Now that I'm actually reading um, John Stuart Mill's book about utilitarianism, it's my favorite moral system so far. I don't know how familiar you are with it.
I don't really know much about it.
It's like um, it says that actions are right in that as in proportion to the way that they tend to promote happiness, and wrong in proportion to the way that they tend to promote unhappiness, or the opposite. And by happiness it's just pleasure, and unhappiness is pain. So like immediately there you can think of problems with it immediately, but so far the problems that I thought existed with it have been addressed by Mill in the book, or with more knowledge of what the system actually is, it works. Like the problems are handled easily by the system. And I just brought it up because greed, according to like Aristotle, is a vice,
Yeah.
right? And Aristotle says that virtues are the means between two vices. So greed would be an excess of selfishness, right?
Yep.
And I don't know what you would call the deficiency of selflessness is, I guess we'll call that the virtue. But then a deficiency of selfishness would be like everybody walks all over you, right? Or you're like you cater to everyone's every need, right?
Yeah.
You never think about yourself ever. So that's unhealthy, and so is greed. So like Aristotle's thing is that each virtue is like a different kind of intermediate between two different vices, and they're all like kind of different categories and stuff. And not he doesn't necessarily put a cap on the number of categories, but he's it's kind of a case by case thing. And I already think that there's no moral truth. So like that makes sense in its own little like romantic encapsulated philosophical world. But then when you apply it to like my thinking is, there's no moral truth. When you apply it to that, it doesn't harmonize with that. But utilitarianism, which basically says, if you do something and it brings more people more pleasure than doing this other thing, then that action is more morally right than the other one. That I like because it doesn't imply any moral truth, right? It doesn't say that this thing is always good or this thing is always bad. It just provides you a system for making decisions, and it kind of acknowledges that there isn't any, like, this is just how it meshes with my philosophy. It kind of it acknowledges that there isn't any moral truth or any,
like everything is just sort of a means to an end, right?
yeah, exactly. Like everything is just kind of whatever we can do, whatever we want to do, because it's just chemicals, right?
Yeah.
Chemicals within chemicals. So utilitarianism kind of acknowledges that and just says, well, it understands that we think we are thinking beings, and we think we can make decisions and do things, right? So here is a guide for us that we can use, and it also could be a guide for any other organism ever. right? That has the, if any other organism can understand it, they can apply it.
Like the
Like if
dolphins.
exactly the
Like the
dolphins.
dolphins.
Yes, the dolphins could be like, hey, eating this fish and not giving it to this other guy would bring me pleasure, but it would like hurt that guy's dolphin family, so I'm going to give him the fish this time.
Yeah.
There you go. Obviously, exaggeration, but I just like it because it's a universal system, but it doesn't imply a universality to anything, right? It said, like, I don't like the idea of there being moral laws within the universe, because morality is something that human beings made up, or living things can make up, right? And whatever we make up, usually that can't be proven empirically, is not there, right? It's just a figment of us. It is there in that it's a figment of us, but it's not like gravity. That exists whether we're here or not. Morality doesn't exist if we're not here, or if any living things aren't there. So I like it because it is a universal system that avoids saying that there's anything universal about morality. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of ranted about it, but what do you?
I like it. It sounds good. I'll do my research on it for sure.
Oh yeah, for the first time in I'm Hungry history, research is being done.
We are the Research Institute.
Tier 1.
The I'm Hungry Research Institute. That is what we are.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're at like 46 right now. This is a
long episode. All right, I think we've touched on a lot of stuff. It's interesting.
Yeah. I think there's nothing really else I want to talk about.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Yeah. All right. Well, watchers, to all of our viewers, have a good rest of your week. This next week. Yeah.
See you next time.
Goodbye.